Okay, so after installing the Sololearn application, so this is an application designed for those who do not have access to using the laptop or PC to code, right? So you can actually use this application Sololearn to learn how to code while you wait for your PC. So that's it. So they have provided us with resources, materials to learn and which will be used to develop our skills in web development, right? So I've picked up this course to start with, which is web development, right? Once you are able to find this web development, I'm actually using my laptop, so it's still the same thing using your phone. I would show you the guidance. I'm going to guide you on how to go about lesson one and lesson two. So once you're able to know how to find your way around, navigate through lesson one and lesson two, the rest will become very easy, right? So this is how to learn, right? This is how to learn. If I were to be the one starting to learn this is how I'm going to go about it, okay? So getting started with HTML. Lesson one, the core web technology, right? The core web. Sorry about that noise. The core web technology. So I'm going to click on it, learn. Every website you've ever visited is built with HTML. So what do I mean by that? This is a website, right? We have ChatGPT here. This ChatGPT is a website. Every website you have visited was built using HTML code. Everything you see here was built using HTML code behind the scene, right? Then your Facebook application, the Facebook you use, was built using HTML. Let's take note of that. So every website you've ever visited is built with HTML code. So with this course, you'll be able to build your own web page, right? I'm done with this. If I were you, I just need to have my notes, because one thing with programming is that you don't need to cram. Like, you don't need to cram. You just need to know how to use the syntax. Like, you don't need to cram anything at all. But what I would do is I would advise that you get your notes, right? Or if you don't have access to your notes, you can actually use you can, if you have a laptop or anything, to just jot down, or your notepad in your phone, just jot things like this down, which will help you later on. So I'm done with this page. I click continue. It takes me to the first page. HTML code is based on tags, right? HTML code is based on tags. What is a tag? A tag is anything that is in between the angle bracket. That is a tag. That is a simple definition of a tag, right? HTML code is based on tags. An example of a tag is this. Three things are here. I have what? The opening angle bracket. I have the name of the HTML element. Then I have the closing angle bracket, right? Tags. Tags use angle bracket. They are trying to tell you all HTML tags or all HTML elements uses angle brackets. All the HTML elements you would come across in HTML, right? Web development, they use angle brackets like this. This is the angle bracket. This is the angle bracket. This is the HTML tag, right? Enclosed in angle bracket. Take note of that. Now we are done with this. A little exercise for us. Complete the button element tag, right? We have this blank here. We have a button and we have the closing tag. Looking at this and looking at this, what is missing, right? I have my closing angle bracket, right? Which is this. I have the button here. What is missing is actually the opening angle bracket, right? I'm presented with two options. Is it this one I would use or this one? Obviously, it's this one, which is the opening angle bracket. So I just need to click on this and it will take me, it will just put it there for me automatically. That's all. So if I get the answer right, check. I have to go to the next lesson, right? So if you get it correct, you can now click continue, which takes you to the next lesson, right? Now, the angle bracket, right, which is this and this, surround the name of the element you want to add to the page, right? The angle bracket, this angle bracket here, this angle bracket, surround the name of the element. What is an element? An element is what we use, is the content of the page. So we have examples of elements. Elements like what? Button, right? Button is an element in HTML, which is inside what? The angle bracket, the opening angle bracket and the closing angle bracket. Take note of that. So an example of element is what? We have the buttons, right? We have the text, we have the images, right? All are added to the web pages with different tags. So let's go to the website and I'll show you an example of a button, right? An example of a button. So if I go to, let's use ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT, let's just use something else. This is GIGM. This is GIGM, right? Cool. Let's use GIGM. Now, if you have ever used God is Good mottos, right? Or a website whereby okay, sign up. This is a sign up form, right? A sign up form where you have to fill in your email, your password, and after doing that, you click a submit button. This stuff that you click here, it is a button, it's known as a button. This page here is built using HTML. Take note of that. All this you see, this logo here, the text, this other text here, the text, the text here as well, and we have this button. All these are HTML elements that makes up the web page, right? Take note of that. I have my button that whenever I fill in my details and I want to submit what I've done, I just click. Anything that requires me to click is regarded as a button. Take note of that. That is a button, which we see here, which is an element, an HTML element. Text is also an element. All this you see here, oh, where is the place? These are text. All these are text, right? They are text in HTML. We would come to start using that. Images is also an element. Images is also an element. This image you see here is an element, right? When we reach that stage, you know how to use it. Use that. But just know that button is an element, text is an element, images is an element that is used to design a web page, right? Cool. Complete the HTML tag for a button element. Still the same way. I have my opening angle bracket. I have the name of the element which is supposed to be inside the two angle bracket. And what is missing is my closing what? Angle bracket. And is it this or this? Obviously it's this. But what if I choose the wrong answer? What is going to happen? It's going to say incorrect, try again. Meaning I have to click on continue, right? I have to click on continue and maybe go back. This is to take me back. Go back to the previous page and make sure I answer it correctly, right? So the final answer is what? Closing. Click next, check, you get it, you go to the next page. Now, it all starts with a tag, right? Create a valid button tag. Now they want us to write everything in full, right? If you check the previous lesson, they have been doing it for us. They have done this first one where they wrote down the opening angle bracket, the name of the element, and they expected us to fill in the blank, which is what? The closing angle bracket. Now, they want us to write everything in full. So what is the first thing? It has been done for us, which is the opening angle bracket. Second thing is the element that is supposed to be inside the angle bracket. And what is that? Is it this or this? It is this, which is the button. And finally, the blank will be what? The closing angle bracket. That's all. Click, check, you get it. You go to the next. Now, aside the button element, we also have another element known as the image tag. You can use the image tag to add images to a web page. You can use the image tag to add images to the web page, right? So the image tag, the syntax for writing the image tag in HTML is open the angle bracket, img. Img represents image. Mind you, if you use image inside this angle bracket, it's not going to work, right? You need to follow the syntax, the correct syntax for image, which is img. Note number one, the first element we looked at was what? Button, right? Secondly, image tag, right? Cool. And how do we write the image tag? They're asking us to complete the image tag. It's the same way with the button, where we have what? The opening angle bracket, right? The name of the element, which is img, which stands for image. And what should be here is the closing angle bracket, which is this. And check, right? Continue. Go to the next. So every note you see, every lesson here you see is a guide for that. It's something it's provided for you to be able to answer all these small exercise, right? You need HTML tags to add different elements to a page. Match the element and the tag. This is very straightforward. So for a button, we are supposed to look for the tag that corresponds to this button. So for this button, obviously is this button tag. For this image, obviously is this image tag. For the text paragraph, obviously is the P tag, which is for paragraph, right? For tables, right? Obviously is the table, right? Check. You nailing this? Continue. HTML will allow you to do what? Create websites, like you see the ChatGPT website, you see the GIGN website, Facebook website, and all, right? HTML helps you to do that and also work more effectively with technical teams. You can't do all of that alone. No, not one person. It wasn't one person that built Facebook. It was different people coming together to build Facebook, right? So it will help you to work effectively with other people, then improve digital marketing skills, right? So what will you use HTML for? Click on the comments to share your thoughts and connect with your fellow learners. So there is a comment section here where you just maybe you want to ask question or you want to see what other people are saying about HTML, right? So these are comments. These are comments provided here. I always go through the comments to learn more things. I get to see more insights about what I'm learning for this as regard this particular lesson, right? Cool. So you're done with this. Click continue. Now there's another lesson for us. HTML is the structure, right? Is the structure of the website. CSS is the style. JavaScript is the interactivity. The structure of the web page is built in HTML. The styling is built with CSS. Then the interactivity is with JavaScript. So what do I mean? This is GIGM, right? GIGM. The structure, what you see here, you might not understand that now, but just take note of this. What you see here, this is the HTML structure of the web page built using HTML. The structure, where this thing is being placed, where the box is placed, right? The text that is being used, right? All this is the structure. Then the colors, adding color to an element, the colors, these colors here, adding boldness, like this is a write-up that is bold, right? Adding styling, adding more, making the appearance more look very attractive, right? It's known as the styling using CSS. When you add colors to beautify the content of your web page is regarded as styling. And how do we style? We use CSS for that. So take note of that. The structure of a web page is a HTML, right? Like this is an example. There is nothing like color, right? It's just showing you the skeletal part of the web page, right? The skeletal part. There's nothing like color. But when you want to add color to it, when you want to beautify it, maybe add for example, which one? How do I? Okay, I'm looking for the ones that has colors, right? I think it should be this one. Yeah, you see this button here. This is a button. You add color. This one is without styling. This one, there's a button here. This is a red color. When you add red color to this, you are adding styling. You are adding styling to that HTML structure. When there is color involved, right? When you decide this is a normal text, but when you make it more appealing by making it bold, right? That is adding styling to your web page. Okay, that is for styling. When you can style the page with CSS. Then interactivity is when you click on something and you see the result of what you click. So what do I mean is, when I click on round trip, what happened? There is a change. I click on one way, there is a change. I click on round trip, there's a change. I click on one way, there's a change. When there is a change in what you are clicking, that is the interactivity. And that is what? That is JavaScript, right? JavaScript is used to make page interactive. Or maybe you sign up, you sign in, you want to sign in as a user, you fill in your username and your password, and when you click sign in, it says you have successfully signed in. That is JavaScript operation in action. Okay, so to summarize this, HTML is the structure of the web page. CSS is styling it, adding colors to it and all of that stuff. And JavaScript is making it interactive enough. Like your button should have effect. When a user click the button, something should happen, right? Cool. Just take note of that. Continue. Now you've answered that, you have written that out in your notes. Match each type of code with its purpose. Structure, is it this or this? Is the HTML, right? Styling, CSS. Interactivity, JavaScript. Straightforward, right? Continue. Create a valid button tag. Now they want us to create a valid button tag. What is the first thing? It is the opening angle bracket. Second thing is the name of the element, which is what? Button. Third thing, what is the closing angle bracket, which is this. That's all. Check. Great job. Great work. You learned that. So at the end of the lesson, they are summarizing what you have learned. HTML code controls the structure of the web page. The tags are used to add elements to a web page. So they have given us some examples of HTML tags, which is what? The button, the image, the table, and the P tag, right? Cool. So in our next lesson, you will start writing, running, and testing real code in the code playground. That's just straightforward. Lesson completed. Continue. Now you'll be asked to go to the next lesson, which is HTML code. I will not do this one. I'll just leave that for you to try that out. But because I believe once you have gotten the flow of this application, right, the flow of how this resource is structured, you will know how to do other ones. Okay? Yeah. Thank you.